Right, hi lads and lasses, and welcome to Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave. What we're going to talk about today, and what it's going to be today, is a mechanical throw workshop. So what I've had is Axel Longfist and a few other people over the last 6 months, well to be honest with you, over a few years. And normally when something goes wrong, they come to me and they have a bit of a coaching session and what have you, and I try and put that right, because it's lots of individual things that can go slightly wrong. Right, now how do we come to this part? Right, well, you start doing the Dynamite Dave way. You set yourself up, you get yourself throwing the best way that you can as to your own interpretation of what I'm actually telling you the way to do it. A lot of the time you'll get yourself a long way down the path and you'll become a 1,000 times better dart player than you ever were before. And then what you'll do is you'll get to a plateau, you'll play that normally, and what will happen is something in you will change. So you might change your darts, you might have an attitudinal change, you might have a different mental side of the game change, or you could, and this does happen and it happens to me, you could just set yourself up wrong without thinking about it. You throw your darts and they go off to one side, and then you just try and adjust your body, you come back round, you do the same thing again. And what that does is it starts a chain reaction. And the chain reaction, what it does is it makes it, and the chain reaction, what that does, it makes it so what you do is you change things. So instead of getting your feet back right in the right place, you adjust your body, you've set yourself up, you're in the wrong place, and you throw the dart at the board and don't go where you want it to go. So instead of looking down at your feet and thinking, oh, my feet are in the wrong place, you adjust your body to throw. And then that doesn't work so well. You come back round and you do it again. And the thing is, you see, is because you've been throwing for a while in the Dynamite Dave way, things sort of like lock into place pretty quick. So you could come round and you could do 2 or 3 visits with your feet in the wrong position, and then all of a sudden that's the way that you're throwing. So that's because that's what feels right to you, rather than looking and making sure that everything is correct and then moving on from there, making sure it can be different aspects. I'm talking about the feet at the moment, but it could be anything. It could be your release, it could be your tick-tock motion, it could be your elbow squirreled its way too far over here or too far over here, and that is usually probably one of the main things. If you're coming from an individualistic throw, and you for years and years and years have thrown with your hand here underneath your face, so this arm is at an angle, what will happen is, and I've said this loads and loads of times, the demons, they come up and they try and work you back to the way that you used to throw. Because that's been embedded into your head for years and years and years, your body will keep trying to drag you back. Probably one of the biggest times when this happens is 2 or 3 things. An illness, so you don't play darts. An holiday, so you don't play darts. Or some other reason why you've stopped playing darts, and it can just be for a week or so. And then when you come back, instead of doing what I've said before, start at basics, make sure you're getting your feet right. You just walk up to the hockey, you think you've got the Dynamite Dave way nailed, and off you go. The thing is you've come up to the hockey and you've set up slightly different. Because for that week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, if you've been on a cruise, it might be 6 or 7 weeks, you've not played darts and you've not thought about it. So when you come back, you just naturally stand wherever the first time that you stand back at the board, you stand. You don't check. But this is what you should be doing, is when you come back, is you should be checking everything. What I do is, especially if I go to a competition and I want to throw really well, is when I get there, all the time I'm thinking about the way that I'm standing, the way that I'm throwing, the arm action, everything. And as I've mentioned over the last few weeks, it's all gone to pot off over the last 6 months. Everything has just sort of like gone out the window. I've started practicing properly again. Had some success with it, and then again we went on holiday. I had to have time off. I've come back, I've had to catch up on all the Dynamite Dave stuff, and then it's sort of like we've had the legacy box situation, which has upset me greatly. Bouncing back from that, I had a bit of a session yesterday, a bit of a practice. We did a little bit of a live stream that went to pot, and again that put another load of stress on me. So this is why my actual game itself has gone to pot over the last 6 to 12 months. It's for the simple reason is I've not been playing darts, I've just been doing other things. And when I've come back, because I'm Dynamite Dave, it's human nature. I've just set myself up and I've started chucking, and I noticed probably going back about a week now when I was filming something, I actually watched the video while I was editing it, and it was the one where I was doing the actual showing you how to do the Dynamite Dave way, and I noticed, and I had to correct myself, that I had my feet in the wrong position. And that is one of the reasons why my darting has gone to rat poo over the last so many months, is my foot. Obviously, as you guys all know, I've had a knee replacement on the right hand side and it doesn't feel the same. I've said this in loads of videos and I'm telling you again now, this leg doesn't feel like mine. They said it would do before they did the operation, but it doesn't. Sometimes I've got all the feeling in it that I had beforehand, and then other times I have like not a numbness, like a dullness, so I don't feel where my back leg is. And that's what's happened, is my back leg had, instead of standing like this, my back leg had creeped out like this, so I was actually standing with my toe like this and my foot like that. Instead of it being here, it was here. So what was happening was I was dragging the darts off to the side. Then what I was doing is my brain was overcompensating, and you will have seen this in the live streams. If you've watched all my live streams and what have you, and you're regular to the channel, you'll absolutely understand this. I was dragging over into the ones. The amount of treble ones that I hit was unreal, and that was my brain automatically overcompensating. It was trying to compensate for the fact that I was actually, if you were doing golf, drawing the ball instead of slicing it. So what I was doing was I was trying to slice the darts to get them to go where they should have been going, and overdoing it, overcompensating. Now I've got myself back into the correct position, it's all starting to come back together again. And you will have seen the thing of the match that I put out a week or two ago with John Gorman. So that shows you out the difference. I did the one with John O'Gorman. I think the one with John O'Gorman was around about the 100 average, which was what I said I wanted to get back to. And that proves that I can actually play at that level. It's just, I had to do that and video that. I don't have to prove anything to anybody. You guys know this. I don't have to prove nothing to no one. And I have no intention of proving anything to anybody, no matter what they say to me. I know what I can do, and you guys know what I can do. You've seen it on 1 in 100 occasions if you've been back in the video. So you guys know that I can play darts, and I can play darts really, really well. So that is where you can get to. Don't forget, I'm a 50-odd-year-old bloke. I'm overweight. I'm the author of it. I am Dynamite Dave. I understand that. And I do things the way that I can do them. But as I said a couple of weeks ago, if you think about the Karate Kid, right, I am teaching you, as I am Mr. Miyagi, you are the Karate Kids, and you will become better than me. Or you better add, otherwise I'm not doing my job properly. Yeah, I'm not doing what I do properly if I don't make you better than me. And the reason you're going to be better than me is a lot of you guys out there are a lot younger than I am. A lot of you guys out there, and you've seen it, there's loads of professionals now and what have you that are throwing in the Dynamite Dave way. There was one I was watching on Modus Darts last night, and I thought to myself, if that isn't the Dynamite Dave way, I don't know what is. And he did a couple of Dynamite Dave finishes and what have you, and I just thought to myself, do you know something? It's all coming to fruition. All the things that I predicted 6 years ago, and I told people when I was talking to him in the pub and at the UK Open and all that, that I would change the face of the game. That's exactly what's happening. Right, so let's get back to this masterclass then, shall we? This workshop. Right, so what I've done is I've set the camera up over here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you. Video yourself. Very, very important. Always, always, always keep videoing yourself. Right, so if you're setting yourself up, right, and you're managing to come over here and underneath your eye, what you need to do is swing that elbow downwards. That is where you're going wrong. What's happening is your arm is twisting like that. Your muscle is trying to twist your arm in to throw the dart, because that is a lot easier to do than that. That is not a natural position. It's not a natural position, but it's the right position. And that's what you need to achieve, is that vertical forearm there, and the horizontal, as you can see from this one, the horizontal upper arm and the vertical forearm. Don't worry about it. If you're a tall lad and your arm's coming up here over your head, don't worry about that, because for the simple reason, the adjustment is this always remains horizontal. And then what you do is, I'm a little teapot, you just tilt the body down, and what I'll do is I will use the camera over there, and I'll look at that camera as if it was the treble 20. Now obviously if the treble 20 was down there where the camera is, the board would be, the treble 20 would be about 4'6" from the floor instead of 5'8". So this is how you do it. So basically the camera's now, I am dead tall because I'm looking down at you and you're the treble 20. So I set up like this, so we're pretending I'm a really big lad, 6 foot odd, and all we do is watch. We just come down and just watch that dart. Look at that dart now. It's absolutely on level with where the camera is. And if I threw that dart now, I would hit the lens of the camera. And that's how you adjust down. And that is how you adjust down to each and every number. Every target on the board, be it double 3, double 17, double 1, double 18, double 4, double 9, double 14, bullseye, treble 20, treble 15, treble 17, treble 19, it's irrelevant. Everywhere you go is you come down and you go across. So you're looking at that target in exactly the same way every time you throw the dart. And if you do that and you get that tick-tock motion right and that vertical forearm right, that dart will go exactly where you want it to. And I mean, once you've become proficient at it, it will go exactly where you want it to. Right, so that's how we'll fix that. Your body position is dead simple. You're just standing as if while I was talking to you 5 minutes ago, I was just stood there like this talking to the camera, and that's exactly how you should stand. Thorax neutral, nice and neutral. So if you filming yourself and you found that you started to arch your back like this and pull your arm in like this and you're throwing at this sort of an angle, that is wrong. You need to be stood up straight with your arm vertical like this. Everything remains up the centre. And this is what we get, and it's what it's called down the line throwing. So if you're down the line throwing, if you throw with your arm like this, exaggerated of course, if you release a split a millisecond early, the dart is going to go over into the 1. If you release a millisecond late, the dart is going to go into the 5. And this chopping action is where a lot of people drift off into different parts of the board. And that's why, is because they've not got the arm vertical. If you get that arm vertical and you're throwing in a straight line, the only way that dart is going to go is in a straight line. Providing that you're not changing your release point and stuff like that with this in here, you forget all that, you look at where you want to go and you just put the dart in it. Don't think about it. Don't stick the dart underneath your eye. If that's how you want to play, don't forget, we have to go into this on every video. This is subjective. It's up to you. If you think what I'm saying is a load of rubbish, then crack on. All you've got to do is just jog on. Nobody's got a gun to your head. You don't have to watch it. But if you're trying it in the Dynamite Dave way, we come to the side of the face. And then all we do is we just put that dart where we want it to go. And as you throw that dart, you will see the dart at the side of you going in a straight line. When you're coming underneath your face here, as your hand gets to here, as you can see in the camera now, you can't see nothing. You've got both your eyes blocked and all you've got is like a shadow view of the board. You've got a 3D view of the board, but you haven't got a clear view of it. You've got a view of your arm with the outer extremities of the board around it. If you come to the side of your face, you will always have vision on that board every second as you're throwing the dart. And that makes a massive difference once you get into it. It takes a bit to get used to it, but believe me, once you get used to it, it makes a huge difference to the way that you play darts. So that is the body position, that's the arm position. If you're dragging your darts low, say everything's going okay, but you seem to be dragging your darts low or throwing them a little bit high, alter your arm speed, right? So no jabbing, So if you've videoed yourself and you've caught yourself jabbing like this at the darts, not coming far enough back and just coming to here and then throwing the darts out, that will cause a stabby throw. A stabby throw, as we all know, means an accurate throw. Because if you make it stabby, those tiny little anomalies as your arm goes forward, so your hand could be shaking or anything, means that your darts are going to go all over the place. They're not going to go exactly where you want them to. So again, it's that lovely tick-tock motion, and to go a little bit higher, you can just put a little bit more, not strength into it, but just a tiny little bit more arm speed. Just try that. Go for the bullseye, and then just put a little bit more arm speed into it, and you will see that it will probably go just above the 25. Slow your arm speed down and it'll go just below the 25. And just think how great that is if you're going for, let's say, a double 15 and you go just below the wire, tiny little bit of arm speed, bang, straight in a double 15, away you go. And that's how the Dynamite Dave way works. A little bit more arm speed, a little bit less arm speed. Once you've got that lean absolutely spot on and you're staying exactly where you are, tiny little bit more arm speed, tiny little bit less arm speed, and it's a really good practice, that 3 in a row. Probably one that I might put out on one of the dart sheets that I'm going to be introducing very shortly. Right, so that's his first little workshop into the Dynamite Dave throw and how to put it right when it goes wrong. If you've experienced different topics than what I've been through today, let me know about them in the comments below or via email, dj.llewellyn123@outlook.com. That's dj.llewellyn123@outlook.com. You can find me on Facebook, Twitter, Google. All you've got to do is, as it says all over all my shirts, just Google it. So if you just Google Dynamite Dave, you'll find that I come up as about the top 10 results. Right, so thanks for watching Darts Coaching with Dynamite Dave, and thanks for watching this little bit of a, not a masterclass, but a little bit of a workshop. So thanks for watching. Don't forget, lads and lasses, as I always say, and it's an absolute fact, you will only ever get out of this game what you're prepared to put in. And always, totally okay!